no matter the location. From O-A-K-L-A to L-V, I'm a Raider.
If you haven't already subscribed, make sure you do. We cover breaking Raiders news, and we want you to be the very first people to know. Tyrell Williams injury. We put a video out right away. ASAP Rocky. And if you missed it, it's probably because you weren't subscribed to the channel. So click that big red button and make sure you don't miss any Raiders news or rumors. On today's show, I'm going to talk about the biggest winners and losers from Tyrell Williams' injury. And first, we're going to start with the losers. And obviously, the biggest loser has to be Tyrell Williams because it's unfortunate, right? A dude that battled a lot of injuries last year. A dude that when he was healthy and on the field actually played pretty good in his first 5 games. He had 5 touchdowns. But he's going to be battling with this torn labrum injury, and if he wants to stay on the field, he's going to have to play through the pain because if he doesn't, watch out for Bryan Edwards to not only just come in and take some snaps away, to just come in and, just full out take his job. Mike Mayock has said that, he'll be ready when he's ready. These are one of these injuries where you're going to deal with pain. And if you can't deal with the pain, it's going to make it really, really difficult for you to get on the football field. Though, and I've seen this all over the place, Tyrell has dealt with this before, but I'll say that he's never dealt with it at this extent. Back at Western Oregon in 2015, he tore his labrum, was able to finish the season, had 56 catches, 950 yards, and 8 touchdowns. But Division II football, Western Oregon, is not the same as the NFL. However, he did deal with this injury as a UDFA in 2016, where he had 18 catches, 269 yards, and 2 touchdowns his final 5 games with the then San Diego Chargers. So knowing that he has this injury, the reason why that he is playing through this or that he's going to, because if he doesn't, he is not going to be a member of this team next season. Now, if Tyrell balls out and has a great year, maybe he gets a chance to come back. However, this season, he has already made $11 million, and he is going to make that money, whether you cut him or not, because I've seen some people who are like, oh, Mitch, just cut him. If you cut him, it costs you $11 million. Now, maybe you cut him to free up another spot for another player that's fully healthy, but if he's going to try to play through it, I'll take a banged-up Tyrell Williams over a fully healthy Marcel Aitman. I will. You can yell at me. But if you want to move on from him, you can in 2021 because, as you can see, cutting him saves $11.5 million. So I want you to fill in the blank here. Tyrell Williams will have blank catches in 2020. I asked this question 2 months ago, and the numbers were in the 50s. So I am very, very curious after the injury news to Tyrell Williams, how many catches y'all think he's going to have? So I see 4, I see 50, and I see 90. Yeah, you can see the numbers are very, very split. 36, 42. I'm going to go somewhere in the mid-30s. Tyrell Williams is going to have about 36 catches this season. The next biggest loser has to be Derek Carr. And anytime that you lose one of your options, it hurts, right? Last offseason, the Raiders tried to bring in FAB, and they tried to bring in Tyrell to be that 1-2 punch for Derek. The reason why Derek is a loser now is because you're going to go into another year where there's question marks around your wide receiver position. And do we have a lot of confidence in Henry Ruggs? Yes, absolutely. Is there a lot of confidence in Bryan Edwards? Yes. But though that there is confidence, you have to be a little bit worried about the fact that you're going to rely so much on younger players yet again. 2018 was, prove-it year for Derek. 2019, prove-it year for Derek. I mean, there has to come to a point where this is it. It's now or never, and it needs to be now or never. If Derek Carr doesn't put up the numbers, you need to move on. If we don't win football games this year, you need to move on. So I'll be really interested to see which player he relies on the most this upcoming season. I'm going to make this the pinned comment on today's video. Around Tyrell Williams, you got to wonder who's going to lead the team in catches. So while you're getting hit with that YouTube ad break, I want you to scroll on down and let me know who's going to have the most catches in 2020. If you think it's Darren Waller, type W. If you think it's Hunter Renfrow, give me an H. If you're going to go with the rookie Henry Ruggs, give me an R. If you think it's somebody totally else, totally different, type O for other. The next biggest loser, it's got to be the nation. It's got to be Raider Nation. We go into another year with a very talented wide receiver corps. And Tyrell, to me, is an okay wide receiver, too. He was never going to be a 1B. But you at least wanted to see what the offense looked like. So, Raider Nation, unfortunately, we are the next biggest loser. So let me know, your favorite Raiders player right now. Scroll on down in the comments section. And for everyone who's watching this live right now, I am going to start shouting out some names. I see AJ Simpson. I see Zach. I see Real H. Ray Rivera. We have KC the Sledge Story. Raider Joker. Jacob T. Ray Rivers. Dale Webb Jr. Daniel Rodriguez. Much love to y'all. Appreciate you. Really appreciate this, though. If you would stay safe. Make sure that y'all are doing your part. Here at Chat Sports, we're just trying to get you guys the best deals possible and trying to get face masks on y'all and that you can rep your team. If you want a Raiders face mask, you saw the first one was a Josh Jacobs one. They also have single face masks, which you can get at the link below, chatsports.com/Raiders masks. I'll say it again so you don't forget, chatsports.com/Raiders masks. You can get a 2-pack. You can get a 3-pack. If you've been working out, thanks to Panda Subs, you can get a 4-pack. No, 4-pack of masks is the best deal. $29.99 is the one that you see on screen. If you go to that link, though, it's a lot more masks than the ones that I just showed you. Stay safe. And if you're planning on going to a restaurant or bar to watch a Raiders game, you're going to have to wear one. You might as well rep your team. So we went from the losers. It's time now to talk about the biggest winners. And this is the fun part, right? Bryan Edwards clearly is the biggest winner from the Tyrell Williams injury news, and he's going to be asked to do a lot. He was already impressing in camp, and if you watched my training camp grades, he was the only dude that got an A+. Now he's got a clearer shot to really get in there and not only get a few reps, but to be a starting wide receiver on this team. So don't be shocked if at the end of the year the top 2 receivers on this list are both rookies. You could easily swap Bryan Edwards and Tyrell Williams as the wide receiver 2 right now. I'm still going to wait and see until we get to the regular season because guess what? I don't got to change my depth charts unless I want to until we get to the regular season. But the fact that Bryan Edwards is going to be asked to do a lot more, I asked this question last week, and the votes came in. 60% of the votes came in for Tyrell Williams. So guess what? I'm going to ask you again. Who's going to make the bigger impact in 2020? This is after the injury news. If you think it's going to be Tyrell, give me a TW. If it's going to be the rookie, Bryan Edwards, type BE. For me, I'm going to type BE. The injury news around TW scares the heck out of me. And I do believe that the Raiders are really going to try to push Edwards and get him in a position so it's easier for them to move on from Tyrell next offseason. Next player that I do believe is a winner, it's Zay Jones, number 2 on my list. And when the initial injury report came out, the Raiders, they mentioned Bryan Edwards, and then they also mentioned Zay Jones. So the fact that he worked with Derek Carr the entire offseason, that's good. And all the reports coming out of camp right now are saying that you can really see the chemistry between Zay Jones. And last year, one of the reasons why Mike Mayock went out and traded for him, loved him coming out of college, but he really wanted Zay Jones to step up. You could tell that the Raiders wanted Jones to take that next step, especially when Tyrell went down with an injury. He seems focused. All the reports out of camp right now are good around Jones, but he isn't the only player that all the reports are good around. Nelson Aghlor. It is full-on Nelson Aghlor and Zay Jones hype season. And it's funny how the offseason works because we don't have training camp or we don't have preseason. You're seeing as soon as the Tyrell news comes out, Zay Jones, Nelson Aghlor are just a man on their mission, right? And the quote exactly from Mike Mayock was, Aghlor is on a mission. John Gruden has been hyping him up a lot, and I said before that I believe that Aghlor's main way that he's going to make this team and the biggest impact is as a punt return. Now the fact that the door is open, if Aghlor wants to put it together, he can be a very talented receiver. He can also look like one of the worst players I've ever seen dropping footballs. But bottom line is this, the Raiders are going to rely on Nelson Aghlor and Zay Jones a lot more this upcoming season. So out of the 2 dudes that I just mentioned, who do you have more confidence in? Like, if it's, let's say, 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, Derek drops back to pass, would you rather him throw it to Zay Jones? Or would you rather him throw it to Nelson Aghlor? If we need to get in the end zone, like, these are the questions I want you to think about because there's no doubt in my mind that these are questions that run through coaches' minds. These are questions that run through Derek's mind. So out of the 2 receivers that you see on screen right now, who do you have more confidence in? Give me a ZJ for Zay Jones or an NA for Nelson Aghlor. The next player that is a winner from the Tyrell Williams injury news is Rico Gafford. And the reason why I'm going to go with Rico here is because he is the 7th receiver on this depth chart, and he's on the roster bubble. He's been looking good in special teams. He's got speed that you obviously can't teach. But if the Raiders were on, let's say, the fringe of only keeping 6 receivers, or maybe they were going to move on from Rico, an injury like this could be a reason enough to just keep one extra body. If the Raiders go out and they keep that one extra body at the receiver position, I do believe it's Rico. And I think that he deserves the ability to at least get a chance. If you've watched the show for a while, you've known that I've said that I don't know if he makes the 53-man roster, but I do think that he would be that extra 2 player that would make the 55-man roster. Rico has got speed for days, but will he make the final 53-man roster? It's a tough one for me. I'm going to be putting out another 53-man roster video probably in the next week or 2. I mean, I got it at this point, right? So do y'all think that he's going to make the final team? Give me a Y for yes, or I want you to type N for no. We will give some shout-outs here. I got Dale Webb Jr., no. Jesse says no. Kenneth says yes. Jacob T says no. Right now, 75% of the votes are continuing to come in as no. Will Rico Gafford make the final 53-man team? Continue to let me know. Y for yes or N for no. Special offer on today's show. Go to chatsports.com/RaidersMask. So before, when I did these deals, I said you could only get maybe 1 mask, or maybe you can only get a 3-pack. Well, now you can get a single mask, you can get the double, the 3, the 4, and in fact, you can even get masks around some of the Raiders players. The most popular one is Josh Jacobs. The way that you cover your face and rep Raider Nation is by going to chatsports.com/RaidersMask. That link I will put in the description. I will also put in the comments section. I'm going to be going to a lot of bars and restaurants watching Raiders games. I need to be able to go out. I need to be able to go out and watch the games on a big screen. I'm going to be wearing my Raiders mask, and I want you all to. The last winner here is Foster Moreau, the only tight end that made the list. And the reason why I'm going to go with Foster here is because when the Raiders went out and signed Jason Witten, there was going to be snaps that were going to be taken away from Foster. That's just the way it works. The fact that now Tyrell, who was probably Derek's go-to guy in the red zone, I do believe that's safe to say, could now be looking to go to Foster a little bit more, who was relied very, very heavily before his injury, especially in the red zone. So he saw 7 targets, brought in 5 of them. Well, you can look right now at the top touchdown catches on the team last year. If Tyrell, to me, had 6 last season, I do not believe that he's going to have that many this year. So you could go to the rookie, or now the second-year player out of LSU, and Foster, who had 5. I think he's one of the biggest reasons why the Raiders, again, are not going to go out and get Dez Bryant. So last season, Tyrell led the team in touchdown catches with only 6. Yes, the love was spread, but when your quarterback throws for only 21, those numbers are going to be a little bit lower. We do anticipate Derek's touchdown numbers to go up this season, so who's going to lead the team in touchdown catches? If you think it's Tyrell, hey, let me know. Foster Moreau, scroll on down. My prediction to lead the team in touchdown catches this year, I'm going to go with Darren Waller, the other tight end, because, well, he had 90 catches the year before and only 3 touchdowns. I do anticipate those numbers to go up. So here are the biggest losers from the Tyrell Williams injury news. Obviously Tyrell, Derek Carr, the Las Vegas Raiders, or just Raider Nation in general. The biggest winners, and these are the players where I'm saying, hey, y'all need to step up. Y'all need to start getting it done, not only in practice, but when the games start to come. These are the players that I'm really going to be watching closely. Bryan Edwards, the biggest winner, then followed by Zay Jones, Nelson Aghlor, Rico Gafford, and at number 5, it's Foster Moreau. Raider Nation, what's going on? Is this the #1 Raiders channel on YouTube? For Chucky Heads, believe it, baby. And if you haven't already, subscribe right here. I'm giving you Chucky Heads, news, rumors, Raider Nation rumors. And look at this, I'm making your life easier. Check out my next video. Thanks for watching, and go Raiders.